Hey everybody, Kennis here. Hope you're doing well. Hey listen, I got a message on my Facebook page at facebook.com/KennisRussell from Mark, and he was asking if I could put a list together of what all you need to do in-ears for live performance using the Rolls in-ear system. So today I'm going to do a breakdown of that, going from the board to your stage, what each musician and or singer needs to hook them up for in-ears. Check it out. All right, well here I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your system at your venue, whether it be a church or whether it be a small venue that you're using in ears with these Rolls boxes. They're a great introductory way to get into in-ear systems. They're not too expensive. These are like around 50 bucks. These are around 75 bucks. I think these are 50 or 75 bucks too, but they're not like gonna break the bank. I'm gonna just kind of show you exactly what you need to do in order to set this up, okay? So we're gonna start here with the source here, and this is gonna be our sound board, okay? Let's just imagine our sound board is here. We're going to talk about the auxiliary outs going into your musicians and your singers. So most boards will have at least a minimum of 2, but usually 4 or 6 or 8 auxiliary outs. We use the PreSonus 32 channel AI board, and it's got, I think, 10 outs, and it's awesome. So basically what that means is if you have 10 musicians on the stage, they all could have their own individual monitor mix. And the purpose of using these Rolls boxes is to just eliminate stage monitors to where everybody's hearing just in headphones. Let's just say we have 6 different auxiliary outs, okay? So I'm gonna just say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna call these A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, and these are our aux outs. The top here is going to be our stage, and we've got our big stage here. Obviously this is not to scale. How do you get from your board, you know, that might be 100 feet away, onto your stage here? Well, you use a snake. It basically is just a bundle of cables that are held together. So I'm going to just say back here that we have an 8-channel snake that we're dealing with, basically. So we've got this big long cable that comes out of the snake, and it's going to go over here, and then it basically is going to break up into 8 different different XLR cables here at the end. I'm going to draw a circle indicating these are XLR outs. Okay, so all these guys are XLR outs. But let's just say that our board here is not an XLR out, that it is only a 1/4 inch out. Okay, so basically these all need to become 1/4 inch cables. The easiest thing to do is just get an adapter. Here's an example of a female 1/4 inch to a XLR male adapter. You'd hook this up into here, and you could use like a patch cable to go into your aux. And they also make these here that are just like this, except they have 1/4 inch male on this end. You wouldn't even need another patch cable. You could just hook this directly in there. You can get these on Amazon. They're really cheap. Just know what you're looking for. This is an XLR female end. This is an XLR male end. This is a 1/4 inch female end, and this is what a 1/4 inch male end looks like. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just know that you may need to use some adapters, because if your snake is only XLR and your board is 1/4 inch outs, then you know you got to get an adapter. But it's not a big deal. We're just going to plug them in. We're just going to plug this one into here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we've got 2 extras that we're not using. So we have 6 outs here, okay? And we're just going to call these guys up here. We're going to make this A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and A6. These are plugged into the snake here. And so now when you plug in to this XLR up here, this is the same thing as plugging directly into the snake, okay? Just that's how the snake works. You should probably know that by now if you're watching this video. But so now we're going to talk about who is on the stage and who needs what in order to get their in-ears, okay? So let's do this. Let's just draw a couple guys here. We've got a singer here at the front, and she's got her microphone. We've got another singer here, and he's got a microphone. Let's say we've got a keyboard player over here, and this keyboard player is right here, and let's just say that this keyboard player also is a singer, okay? And then up behind here we've got guitar of some sort. It's kind of a weird looking guitar. And this is going to be a bass guitar here. So we've got our bass. And then over here we've got an electric guitar back here. So we'll do another weird looking guitar. And this is an electric guitar, and he's awesome. Then we've got an acoustic guitar right here. And let's see. And maybe let's just make this guy sing also. So he's got an acoustic guitar and a microphone. And then, you know, what would a band be without drummers? So we've got our drums back here. He's got a couple cymbals happening there, that kind of thing. So this guy's rocking out. He's got a thrum. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 musicians on the stage. Okay, and so basically what happens here is you have two different options for these in-ears. If you just have a mic going into it, so like a microphone here, this is perfect, because what ends up happening with the PM50S, that's what this box is called, your microphone goes in and then comes out and goes to the snake wherever it's at. I'm not drawing the snake here. And then what happens is you'll have a line go in here that's the monitor mix, and your singer then is able to adjust the monitor level to how loud they want, like the whole band and the whole music to be, but then they get to boost themselves as loud as they want, and then you just use like a headphone adapter here that would just plug into here, and then you'd hook up headphones into this in order for them to hear exactly what's happening. And it completely eliminates the need for there to be monitors on the stage if they're using one of these boxes. There's this box over here that does the exact same thing, but it's got one additional option here, and that is to have an instrument in as well. And this also is just it's a good option here. You can also do stereo out, which is pretty cool. So you could do like this half right here is basically the same thing as this right here. You've got your mic in and your mic out. You've got your line in, that can adjust the volume. Your mic, you can adjust the volume on that. But then it's got an instrument in here, 1/4-inch instrument in, and they could adjust their guitar or their keyboard or whatever it is. And then they've got their headphones out here. So the first thing you need to do is to decide what boxes each player needs, okay? So for a singer, if it's just a singer and they're not doing anything else, this box right here is going to be just fine for them, the PM50. So I'm going to just write here PM50 like that, and that is that box. And this singer would do the same thing, PM50, just like that. Very, very good. And let's see, you know what, this drummer here is probably going to be just using a PM50, because actually he's not even hooking his drums into it. He's just using it as the monitor amplifier. So here's our PM50 here. Okay. Now, this guitar player here that is also singing, if he's using a wired microphone, he's going to want to use the microphone going into his mic here, and you can adjust that volume. But he's also going to want to use the 1/4-inch for his guitar. So we're going to give him the PM351. Okay, so he's got a PM351. And the singer over here, she's playing keyboard, and she's got the same situation happening where she's singing and she's playing into the box. So she's going to do a PM351 too. Now, if you're using a wireless microphones, basically you're not going to need the mics in here. You're just using these as instruments here. Okay, so if you're just using wireless, it basically is going to be the same thing as the PM50, and you actually lose the ability to adjust the volume of the microphone on the box itself. But you know, that's not necessarily a limitation to this box. It's just a limitation to wireless. But we're just not going to talk about wireless for now. We're just going to pretend that wireless doesn't exist and everything is going to be wired. Now here we've got a bass player, and this bass player is coming out with a 1/4-inch jack here. So he's a 1/4-inch jack, And a 1/4 inch jack will not plug into the XLR here. So he has an option where he could basically do a DI box. So he goes quarter out into a DI. Here's our DI box here. And then he can go the DI into a one of these guys over here, a PM50. Okay. So he is going in that way. So he's converting this 1/4 inch cable to a XLR and then going into the PM50. Now another thing is, depending on like different guitar players' rigs, like for instance our bass player, he plays with a Zoom and he's got a XLR out. So he actually could just bypass this DI completely and plug straight into the 50. Now, what if he doesn't want to use a DI or we don't have a DI? I actually, most of the time, prefer to just order the PM351s because they are like 75 bucks, I think, around there, and these are around 50 bucks. And so for 25 bucks more, it just kind of gives you more versatility and options in case you have different people swapping out with different needs. So on this guitar player here, I'm going to give him a PM351. And he's not going to use any of the XLR. He's just going to use this as his direct, as his DI into that. Okay, so here we've got this going in right there. We've got our microphone cable going in. We've got a guitar cable going in. Here we have microphone cable coming in. Microphone cable coming in. Our microphone cable going in here. Plus our keyboard is going in there like that. So now we know exactly what each one of these guys is using. And then off of this, again, I'm not going to draw it in there, but you're just using a cable like this. This is like a 20-foot headphone extender, and you just plug into your Rolls box, and then you plug your headphones into this. And that's how you're getting your signal. So each one of these boxes now is going to have one of these headphone adapters plugged into it, and that just gives you more length on your headphones in order to get into it. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 musicians on the stage, but we only have 6 auxiliary outs. What are we going to do? Well, a couple different options we could do. And you may be in a situation where you only have 4 auxiliary outs, okay? So actually, let's do that. Let's just imagine that our board here, it only has 4 auxiliary outs. Let's just imagine we are stuck. We are hosed. We only have 4 auxes. So somehow we have to get all of these musicians on only 4 auxiliaries. So what we're going to do now is we're going to basically split these up. So let's just say you may not want to do this in real life. You may split it up differently, but let's just say we want to just put all 3 of these guys on the same monitor mix, okay? So let's just say that the guitar player that's singing, the drummer, and this guitar player here, they're all getting the same mix coming from the board. Let's call them A1, okay? What they're going to do is split that signal. And how do we split that signal? We're going to use this, the PS16 Personal Monitor Power Center. What this does is it boosts the signal so that it can get to all of them. These units are good, but they actually have, if you turn the volume up past about 50%, you get a lot of hiss. So you want to make sure that the volume coming from the board is really strong, that the signal coming from the board is really strong. And that's what these guys do, is they ensure that the signal is very strong. So basically what happens is it's got an XLR in or a 1/4 inch in, and these are powered. You got to hook it up to a 9-volt adapter. I'm sorry, a 12-volt adapter, like one of these guys. The other ones can use 9 to 15 volts. They're actually pretty versatile, but this one only uses the 12-volt adapter. Now, then what happens is, so I'm going to draw this here, this PS16 right here, PS16. Make a box out of it. Now what's going to happen is, coming from A1, we go in here, in the back of this, and then we're going to go out to this guy, out to this guy, and out to this guy here. So, and then we have one extra one. There's 4 possible outs to this. So all these guys are sharing that A1 right there. It's not that huge of a deal for them to all share it, because if you have a generally good mix, then the guitar player can boost himself. This guitar player can boost himself and his vocal. And so you pretty much get a pretty good mix there. So we've got now these 3 musicians are all on A1. Okay, so I'm going to write that in here. This is A1, A1, A1. Okay, A1. That's all going there. Now, so we have 1 aux there, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more musicians that need to share these 3. So a really good option would probably just say, hey, vocals, you're all getting the same mix. So we'll do another PS 16 here. And we'll go auxiliary 2 into the unit, and then these guys go out into the PM50s. Okay, so this is A, it's an A2. These are A2, A2. Hopefully that's making sense how these are splitting this up, okay? Then we now have 2 more mixes that could be, these guys could each get their own individual mix, okay? So we're just going straight. We don't need any sort of power booster here with the power amp center, our personal monitor power center. We're just going to take A3, and A3 is going to go all the way around here into this. So here's A3, and then A4 is going to go boom right here, A4. So that's how all of these guys are getting their unit to each one of them. Each one of these musicians are getting their signal to it. So let's just say for A4, A4 is coming in out on the auxiliary here. It's coming back to here, straight in here. Now, a couple things to note about these units. They all need power. Okay, this is a powered system. It's not passive, it has to have power. So each one of these units has to be by a plug, basically. Now there is one thing that you could do, and that is the PS16, if you hook up stereo or balanced 1/4-inch cables to this into the line in here. So basically on these, on this PS16, I'm going from, let's say A1, doing like an XLR cable in here, okay, and then my power is coming out here, and then out of this is going 1/4-inch, let's say 1/4-inch to this unit right here, the PM351, through this line right here. So this is going directly right there, just like that. It's just going right in there. If I use a stereo cable, this will actually send power to this unit, and I don't need to use a 9-volt adapter on this. So that's pretty cool. It's an option that you have there. So if you want to invest in the more expensive stereo cables, you don't have to worry about having power everywhere on your stage. I don't do that. All of ours, we've got power on each one of these. So, basically you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these various units. You're going to need to have plugs on each one of these guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, a couple things else to point out on this is there is a ground lift for a lot of this. Okay, so right here there's a ground lift for the line in right here. There's a ground lift right here for the personal monitors. Okay, there's also, you can adjust whether you want this to be stereo with this here, and this is just like a let me see if I can actually take my Leatherman. So in order to switch it from the ground lift, I wish they had like a switch, but you got to just get in with a pair of pliers and pull this out and then plug it in on the other two like that. I know that's kind of ridiculous. I think they should have put a switch on there, but they saved money and they passed it on probably to the consumer because these aren't that expensive of boxes. By the way, they're actually pretty well made. This is just Velcro that I put on for one of our guys. So hopefully that helped answer your questions on what you need on your system. Okay, now a couple options I'm going to just throw in here for the in-ear options. There's a company ME Electronics makes 2 sets of headphones that are just awesome. These are like less than $20, and these are the first set of headphones that I've come across that have like a wire in the headphone itself, and It actually wraps around your ear. For this price point, that's the first time I've seen that for that price point of 20 bucks or under. Now, and it comes in this little case here. If you want to step it up, these ones here are called the M6 Sport, I believe. These guys are, or maybe the ME Sport, something like that. Just look them up on Amazon. And then the M6 Pros, these are basically just a higher version of those, of the sports here. And the wire is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit more like we'd expect in like a Shure in-ear system. I've been using these headphones right here for rehearsal, for a 2-hour rehearsal, and every Sunday morning for I think about a year and a half, and had no problems with them whatsoever. Love them, absolutely love them. So those are just a couple options for your in-ear headphones themselves. So hopefully all of this is making sense to you. Just for clarification's sake, just so you guys understand that, I'm going to draw, let's say, an addition onto this snake here with all of our other channels that are coming in here. Everything has got to get back to the board here too. You guys hopefully will understand that. You know, so you're going to have all your inputs into your board too. So there's a bunch of different, you know, your snake has got a bunch of different channels. So each one of these guys needs to come out into one of these channels as well. So everything needs to kind of come back into this as well. There you go. There you go. Hopefully you like this video on how to hook up the Rolls in-ear systems for live performance. Hopefully it helps you and your team out. If you would, please like this video, comment on it, give it a share, a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. And if you would, please go to my Facebook page at facebook.com/KennisRussell and like it there. Answer this whole video off of a question posted on there. So if you want to get in touch with me, that's probably the best way to do it. If you got a question you want me to answer too. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in another video.